There are moments in life when someone shows up carrying worries they can't put into words, and for some reason, they come to you. They knock on your door, message you out of nowhere, or quietly ask for guidance. And it is never just a random moment. Most of the time, before they reached for anyone on earth, they already turned to Allah first, and somehow, He directed their steps toward you. When that happens, don't think of yourself as the last option or the available person. Think of it as an honor. Allah trusted you enough to let you be part of someone's relief. You became the person He chose to answer a piece of their prayer. That alone is a blessing, one not everyone gets. And helping someone is not always about money or solving every detail of their situation. Sometimes it is listening without judgment, offering a few comforting words, or simply being present when their heart feels heavy. These small acts can mean more than you'll ever realize. And Allah sees every bit of it, every intention, every quiet act of kindness done for His sake. If you can help, help with sincerity. If you can comfort, do it gently. And if all you can offer is a kind word or a prayer that still carries weight with Allah, nothing done for Him is ever wasted. In the end, when Allah sends someone your way, it means He still sees goodness in your heart, enough for Him to make you a means of ease for someone else. And that itself is something worth being grateful for.
Keep going. Difficult roads can lead to beautiful destinations. The path to our dreams is rarely smooth. It's often paved with challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. There will be times when the road ahead seems steep, the climb arduous, and the destination a distant, shimmering mirage. But it is precisely in these moments of difficulty when our resolve is tested that our strength is forged. Each obstacle overcome, each challenge faced with courage, brings us closer to the breathtaking vista that awaits. The most beautiful destinations are often reached by traversing the most difficult roads, for it is in the struggle, in the perseverance, that we discover our true resilience and the profound beauty of our own capacity for growth and transformation. So, keep going, keep striving, and know that the journey, however challenging, will ultimately lead you to a destination far more rewarding than you ever imagined. The three sacred gifts. Always carry this truth deep within your soul. Life is a precious gift, an unrepeatable journey given only once. Love is a wonderful gift, the profound thread that connects our hearts and makes the journey worth taking. And laughter is a glorious gift, the music that lights up the spirit and chases away the shadows. Since you have been blessed with these three treasures, let them guide your every day. Live your life to its absolute fullest, savoring every moment of beauty and challenge. Love with the entirety of your heart, holding nothing back, and laugh freely, with the deep, unrestrained joy that reminds you to breathe deeply and truly be alive. Wishing you all a bright and beautiful day. There are wounds the body never sees, quiet injuries born not of force, but of feeling. Crimes of the heart leave their marks in places no one else notices. A harsh word, a broken trust, a misunderstanding that spirals out of control. These moments carve deep grooves inside us, shaping the way we remember, the way we protect ourselves, the way we carry pain long after the moment has passed. We replay these hurts because we want to make sense of them. We dwell on what was unfair, what was cruel, what felt like a violation of our tenderness. And with each replay, the wound digs deeper, the anger grows heavier, and a part of us becomes stuck, rooted in a past we cannot change, unable to move toward a future we deserve. Letting go feels impossible at times. It can feel like surrendering our dignity or dismissing what we went through. But letting go is not forgetting. Letting go is choosing ourselves again, choosing our peace over our pain. The time to let go comes quietly, when we realize that holding on no longer serves us. When anger stops being armor and becomes a weight. When our resentment pulls us farther from the person we are trying to become. When carrying the burden costs us more than releasing it ever would. So how do we begin? We begin gently. We begin slowly. We begin by choosing not to revisit the wounds unless healing is the intention. We begin by shifting our focus from the injury to the recovery, from the memory to the meaning, from who hurt us to who loves us. Surrounding ourselves with people who hold us gently helps soften the sharpest edges of our pain. With time, trust, and compassion, We move forward, inch by inch, breath by breath. Forgiveness is not the first step, it is the last. It arrives only when the heart is ready, not when the mind demands it. Finding peace within ourselves doesn't erase what happened, it allows us to rise above it. It teaches us that the past may shape us, but it does not have to shackle us. Peace comes when we choose to release what poisons us, and make room for what heals us. It comes when harmony becomes more important than hurt, when growth becomes more meaningful than grievance. This is the quiet miracle of letting go, not forgetting the pain, but freeing ourselves from its hold. Happiness starts with you. Not with your relationships, not with your job, not with your money, but with you. We often search for happiness as if it were a prize waiting to be granted by external forces, a perfect relationship, a promotion at work, or a specific amount of money in the bank. Yet, chasing these things creates a reliance that always leaves us vulnerable. The most crucial truth about joy is that it begins fundamentally with you. Happiness is not an achievement to be earned from the world. It is a state to be cultivated within. It starts with the quiet commitment to your own peace, your own mind, and your own perspective. Only when you cease the external search and tend to that inward spring will you find a lasting well of contentment that no change in circumstances can ever take away. Phone addiction can kill your marriage. Phones steal time. Phones steal attention. Phones steal emotional presence. You sit beside your spouse, but your heart is online. You scroll, you swipe, you tap. Meanwhile, your partner feels ignored. Addiction starts small, just 5 minutes, then 30, then 2 hours. Your spouse becomes background noise. You lose connection, you lose eye contact, you lose deep conversations. Love dries quietly. Put your phone down. Look at your spouse, talk, ask questions, laugh, listen with your heart. Your partner needs your voice, not your emojis, not your likes, not your scrolling. Phones are tools, not life, not love, not intimacy. Social media cannot hug you, it cannot heal you, it cannot protect your vows. Your marriage needs real presence. Give your best energy to your spouse, not to strangers online, not to comments, not to endless videos. Phone addiction can kill your marriage. Protect your connection with your partner intentionally. Today's reflection. There comes a moment in every life when being becomes more important than performing, when the weight of expectations, spoken or unspoken, inherited or imagined, finally grows too heavy to carry any farther, and in that moment, something inside us quietly asks for release. Not a dramatic transformation, not a grand awakening, but a soft loosening, a return to the self beneath all the layers. Being is the slow unbinding from every should that ever bent your spirit out of shape. It is the quiet rebellion against the musts, the have-tos, the impossible standards whispered into your mind by years of striving. It is refusing to measure your worth by limits you didn't choose, by the have-nots, the can-nots, the doubts, and the guilt that cling like shadows to the edges of your identity. Being is a gentle permission, the kind we rarely grant ourselves. It's the freedom to let your thoughts rise like smoke into open sky, without labeling them good or bad, right or wrong. It's the courage to feel your feelings as they are, not as you believe they should be. It's the tenderness of following what your heart longs for, without shaming yourself for wanting. And perhaps most sacred of all, being is allowing yourself to exist exactly as you are. No edits, no masks, no apology. When we stop judging ourselves for our thoughts, our choices, our desires, our truths, something miraculous happens. Peace begins to seep into the spaces where criticism once lived. Freedom begins to uncoil in the chest where tension used to gather. Love, real, unconditioned, unmanufactured, begins to grow from within instead of being sought from without. And joy, the kind that cannot be forced or performed, rises up naturally from the soul's quiet center. This is the gift of simply being, the discovery that everything we chase so desperately was already within us, waiting for the noise to fall away, waiting for us to come home. Today's reflection. There is a certain kind of work that doesn't just fill our days, it fills our spirit, the kind of work that reaches beyond tasks and checklists and sinks into the quiet center of who we are. When what we do becomes a lantern in someone else's darkness, when it offers even a sliver of hope, a moment of relief, or a reason to keep going, something shifts inside us. We feel it, a spark, a pull, a purpose that breathes, because when our actions lift another person, we are reminded that we exist not in isolation, but in a web of lives gently touching and shaping each other. This is where meaning lives. This is where the heart finds its direction. Helping others gives us a reason, a why, that keeps us steady even when life feels heavy. It roots us in something larger than ourselves, something that transcends the small burdens we carry. And in that offering, in that reaching outward, we receive something profound in return. Connection. A sense of belonging. A reminder that we matter in ways we often forget. Every thank you, every softened expression, every quiet moment when someone's load becomes a little lighter because of our presence, these are not small things. They form a kind of sacred reciprocity, a loop of giving and receiving that nourishes both the heart that offers and the heart that accepts. And in that loop, we discover a renewable source of strength. The more we help, the more energy rises to meet us. The more we give, the more capacity we find within ourselves. We don't burn out, we burn brighter. This is why such work never exhausts the soul, because its reward is not measured in recognition or achievement, but in the invisible, deeply felt knowledge that we have made someone's path easier, that we've given another human being a reason to keep going, that our presence changed something. The fulfillment that comes from making a meaningful impact becomes its own quiet miracle, a purpose that anchors us, a motivation that renews us, a reminder whispered again and again that the world is softened every time we choose to care. In lifting others, we rise too. Today's reflection. There comes a moment in every life when being becomes more important than performing, when the weight of expectations, spoken or unspoken, inherited or imagined, finally grows too heavy to carry any farther, and in that moment, something inside us quietly asks for release. Not a dramatic transformation, not a grand awakening, but a soft loosening, a return to the self beneath all the layers. Being is the slow unbinding from every should that ever bent your spirit out of shape. It is the quiet rebellion against the musts, the have-tos, the impossible standards whispered into your mind by years of striving. It is refusing to measure your worth by limits you didn't choose, by the have-nots, the can-nots, the doubts, and the guilt that cling like shadows to the edges of your identity. Being is a gentle permission, the kind we rarely grant ourselves. It's the freedom to let your thoughts rise like smoke into open sky, without labeling them good or bad, right or wrong. It's the courage to feel your feelings as they are, not as you believe they should be. It's the tenderness of following what your heart longs for, without shaming yourself for wanting. And perhaps most sacred of all, being is allowing yourself to exist exactly as you are. No edits, no masks, no apology. When we stop judging ourselves for our thoughts, our choices, our desires, our truths, something miraculous happens. Peace begins to seep into the spaces where criticism once lived. Freedom begins to uncoil in the chest where tension used to gather. Love, real, unconditioned, unmanufactured, begins to grow from within instead of being sought from without. And joy, the kind that cannot be forced or performed, rises up naturally from the soul's quiet center. This is the gift of simply being, the discovery that everything we chase so desperately was already within us, waiting for the noise to fall away, waiting for us to come home. One of the most valuable lessons in life is learning to stay calm when every part of you wants to scream. Useful, Jen. Yes, one of the deepest acts of personal power is choosing stillness when every fiber of your being is vibrating with the urge to scream. Life will throw moments at you designed to shake your core, where confusion or frustration demands a loud, immediate reaction. But the truly valuable lesson is learning to hold steady in that storm, to pause, to breathe, and to deliberately choose calm is to claim ownership of your inner world. This doesn't mean ignoring the pain, it means refusing to let the chaos outside control the peace within. When you anchor yourself in that quiet center, you prove that your spirit is stronger than any passing drama, turning a moment of stress into a profound victory of the soul. There are moments in life when sadness doesn't ask to be spoken, it only asks to be witnessed. When the heart grows heavy and words feel too small, too fragile, or too tangled to carry what we feel, silence becomes its own kind of refuge. In those moments, we don't need advice, explanations, or conversations that try to fix what cannot yet be understood. We simply need another soul willing to sit beside us, unafraid of our quiet. There is a sacred kind of comfort in presence alone. No questions, no pressure, no expectations, just the soft reassurance that someone is near, someone steady enough to share the air with us when we can barely hold our own pieces together. Sometimes we don't speak because we don't yet know the shape of our pain. It is still forming, still unfolding, still asking us to sit with it before we try to name it. Some feelings are so dense, so overwhelming, that even attempting to express them feels like lifting something too heavy for trembling hands. And so we hold our hurt quietly, suspended in the stillness, waiting for the moment when the heart loosens enough to breathe again. In these tender spaces, the warmth of another being, simply present, quietly beside us, is enough to soften the ache. They do not push, they do not probe, they do not fill the silence with unnecessary noise. They let us be exactly as we are, and their nearness whispers a truth they never have to say out loud. You are not alone. It's not spoken, but it is felt, deeply, unmistakably, and in that wordless companionship, something inside us steadies, something in us remembers that even our heaviest moments are lightened when shared in silence with someone who cares. Sometimes, presence is the purest form of love. Sometimes, sitting together in quiet is the deepest kind of understanding. And sometimes, that simple closeness is all we need to begin healing, one unspoken moment at a time.